Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control in me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I don't fucking take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently, thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll put it on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Welcome to ArchRivals Football, sponsored by Raz Energy and Steiner Sports. Here is your starting lineup. Number 20, Darnell the Playmaker Salins. Number 94, Alex the Bearman Alcazaz. Number 69, Ricky the Prez Litwinkowich. And in tribute to our fallen colleague, ArchRivals Football, Ring of Honor member, Alex Fleming. This show is a Pain Train Pipe Bomb production. What is up, everybody? It is Saturday, October 23rd, 2021. ArchRivals Football is back in effect on the weekend, week 7. And today is a monumental day for ArchRivals Football. First off, we finally got our brand new intro installed. Shout out to our Ring of Honor member, Mr. Alex Fleming, who will initially and infinitely be part of that intro and our show for eternity. Bearman, what's doing?
Just living life, brother.
And today, we normally would call him John, but he is that critical Broncos fan. What is going on, my brother?
I am doing really well, and I'm really excited to be a part of the show.
I will say this. Now, our show is built on fans doing shows for fans. And to have on another fan is absolutely amazing. So, welcome to the show. Know that you will not be doing a one and done because I do not work that way.
Yeah.
So
That's not how we do business.
no, because once you get addicted to ArchRivals Football, you will never turn back. And I say this because we're still trending. I love to know that we are still trending. You cannot say anything else about that. That means we are ruffling a lot of feathers. That's what we can say about that. Let's jump
Cheers to you
into
guys.
yes. Alex, I don't know if you have a drink with you, but
I do.
Okay, good. Well, he
I
just
always
cheers.
do.
He just cheered us, and you didn't raise anything, so you got to get on that. Okay, so there you go. All right.
Well, I got an evil feline in the room, so I got to keep an eye on it. And he is evil.
Yes, the evil pussy is running around.
Yeah, he's basically the Joker of kitties.
Okay.
Roger Goodell.
Listen, we weren't talking about castration. We were talking about cats.
Oh boy.
He has tiny penis syndrome and marble nuts. All right, let's jump into some of this football that we got going on here. And I'm going to start off with Alex on this because there were proclamations made on Tuesday's show that I got criticized for.
Unfairly.
I cough on the truth because I did say some things about certain matchups on the Thursday night football docket where we had Denver at the dog pound. Final score: Browns 17, Denver 14. Yep. Bearman, give me your outlook on the game.
Well, as we recall, Ricky, you and I had a difficult time making a decision on this game because we weren't sure if Baker Mayfield was going to play, and then it turns out, of course, after the show's over, we find out he's not going to play. But this game, despite the injuries to the Denver Broncos, I knew the Broncos would not go away. So the game kind of went exactly the way I imagined it would, a close game, but with Cleveland winning. And I said, well, Case Keenum has been around for a long time, and he's won a lot of games. I mean, we'll never forget the miracle in Minneapolis. But, but unfortunately in the Broncos case, the injuries, but also the Cleveland Browns, didn't have Kareem Hunt, didn't have Nick Chubb. So that's why it was so difficult to call. But the only reason I picked the Browns was because they were the home team. So it was tough. It really was.
John, go ahead.
Well, I would say for that game, I don't personally think that was the full story of it. When you can look at the score and might think it's close, but they really gave up. And I think if you look at the Broncos' faces at the end of the first half, it was dejection, defeated. They already wanted to go home. At the very end of the first half. And those points that Denver put up were garbage time points. And I don't know what is going on with our coaching that they allow these players to just go out there and just feel like we're done. We're quitting the game. And I just find that very aggravating as a fan. And that's my honest take on it.
Well, I'm going to start posing a few questions because I think one of the things that I find a little out of place is that there was a very, very, very bold prediction made by a extremely potential Hall of Fame linebacker on Wednesday.
Yep.
Who said, I'm going to come out and kill people.
Mr. Von Miller.
That would be Mr. Von Miller.
I'm very familiar with. He's from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Yep. My question is this. A, are we starting to actually see a decline in Mr. Von Miller? Or is the bell tolling for Mr. Von Miller because his production has severely dropped after the first 3 weeks of the season?
Well, I would say his production had actually dropped like 2 years ago. And that's with the new coaching staff and injury to his ankle from last year. So you can't just look at the first 3 games where he had 4 sacks against 3 garbage teams in Giants, Jets, and Jaguars. And once the real competition came along, then you see the decline. of Vaughn.
I gotta ask you, is it safe to say that Von Miller is way past his prime now?
Yes. I remember saying in 2019 that we should have traded him off because if you remember the first 3 games of 2019, he didn't get a single sack at all. And it just tells you that we got to move on forward without him. Hall of Famer or not, we have to move on if he's on a decline.
It's a shame too, but you have the glory days, and at one point, the star defensive player, we have to accept the fact that you age, and the toll the sport takes on your body is painful. Like his body is never going to be the same because that's what football does to you.
Well, here's
Especially in his position.
it goes now to this other question because it wasn't just Von Miller that kind of caught my eye on Thursday night. Have we officially said maybe sayonara to Mr. Odell Beckham Jr. because his production is horrible as well?
Should have been done last year or as soon as he got on the field, maybe like 2 or 3 games in, that they should have just found a trade partner. Like the connection was not going to be good, especially with a young QB and a superstar wide receiver. So I don't see how, both OBJ is still on the team when there's clearly a disconnection between the QB and the star.
As far as OBJ goes, a lot of people suggest that his stock declined the minute he was traded from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns. Now that's arguable, but and what's sad is OBJ is 28 years old. He could still have a couple good years left, but with the state of how everything is, the play and everything and the injuries, obviously it's the injuries. It's a cloudy situation, and we don't know if his son's going to come out in that situation. We don't know. I mean, I feel like Odell Beckham Jr. went from a player with such great potential to basically now at this point he's basically fallen in the category of becoming a what if story. I mean, much like Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, by the time that the Giants had old Eli Manning and then started to move towards building around Saquon, OBJ was not going to be that same guy, especially when he had the leg injuries from 2017 and 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but OBJ and Saquon are both in the same boat. They can't stay healthy for more than 5 games, and then either out for like 6 weeks or they're out for the rest of the season. They're like, okay, guys, I gave you a quarter of the season. I'll see you next year, which is why we've now recoined the initials of the New York Giants, the next year Giants fans.
Yeah.
Speaking of the lowly Giants, as we roll into the Sunday games of Week 1, this is amusing. 1 o'clock on Fox TV. Carolina Panthers visit MetLife Stadium for the next year Giants. I mean, New York Giants. This is apparently a very intriguing matchup that's supposed to be happening. Why? Yeah. Because the Giants get to play against one of their old roommates, Mr. Sam Darnold. Who would like to lead off on this one?
Sam has regressed from since week 4. And defense is starting to be figured out. But I do think that has to do with J.C. Horn being out of the lineup with a bad foot injury. I would say that Giants should have a chance, but not like a really good one. I'm going to lean towards the Panthers in that one. Giants are just that bad.
Alex?
As far as the Giants goes, obviously just the injuries just keep piling and piling and piling.
Yep.
As far as the wide receiver core goes, I don't even know who they have left. Like, who do they have left?
John Ross.
Unfortunately, they have Daniel Jones left.
Yeah, and lately here, there's been trade rumors from the Cowboys about possibly trading Michael Gallup, and I discussed this on my show that Denver, New England, and several other teams are possible destinations. But I never thought about the Giants until now. Maybe what if the Giants did it? But the problem is Michael Gallup. He's been hurt this year, and he's inconsistent. So
First
I don't know.
off, the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys will never make a divisional trade ever.
Well, you never say never. But
That will
not.
that listen. I'm telling you right now, divisional trades are like a bad rash that doesn't go away. That's why you don't do it. Why would you supply a team in your own division with ammo? That's the problem. I will turn back the hands of time when I say this.
Yeah.
There was a time where Bill Belichick left the New York Jets because he didn't like the situation. And because that ended up happening, the New York Jets got traded a running back, Curtis Martin, who made the Patriots a living nightmare afterwards. Okay? This is why you don't trade division teams. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in any player's right mind right now, it's changing a little bit of the sports, but like the New York Mets this year got ravaged with injuries. Why would any player want to go there? I say the same thing with the New York Giants. Why would anybody in their right mind want to go to a team that's been riddled with injuries on a field that's not been great since the stadium opened? To me, I would rather sign my contract, get my guaranteed money, and retire the next day than say that I'm going to be playing in MetLife Stadium on a field like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was just a thought, but you're right. But as far as the situation with the Panthers, the Panthers, we're 3-0, and and now the record it's all completely different. I think they lost 3 straight, didn't they?
They did.
Yes, but you also did not have Mr. CMC in the backfield either.
Yeah,
which does cause a little bit of chaos.
And there's also some injuries on the Panthers secondary as well. But I think in this game, obviously the Panthers, I definitely see the Panthers winning, but I really feel like this game, in your case, Ricky, this is gonna be a game you're probably just not even gonna want to bother watching, or at least you'll try to, but you'll be bored. You'll be bored to tears, probably within 5 minutes.
Well, let's just say that after I make my pick, this will be the game that I will be watching till probably about 4:00. It is the New York Giants. The New York Giants are not the home favorite, by the way. Carolina is favored by 3 under over of 43 because on ArchRivals Football, we do not deal with half points. If you like to play with a half point, you can kiss my ass because there is no such way that you can get a half point in football.
I mean, it makes no sense. When you think about it, a half point? A half point? What the hell is that?
Yeah, I have no idea where Vegas decided that a half point was a great idea.
Well, that's
so,
question.
Yeah. So it's consensus -3 Carolina. To those who don't know, the betting means that the Giants are starting off the game 3-0.
Yep.
I have to every once in a while explain that.
Yep.
So
give me the points with the Panthers.
What do you got, man?
I got the Panthers. But I just hope that in Sam Darnold's case, if he has to put up the garbage time stats, that's not going to look good on him. The Panthers got to take care of business. There's no excuse for them against the Giants. There's no reason for them to finally come alive in the fourth quarter. They need to be on top of it the entire game, and that's what I expect from them.
I hate being put in these positions. And the reason why is that I actually thought after the first 3 games that Carolina was actually going to be something potent. They're like a bad pair of underwear that's been sitting around in a laundry basket for too long now. That's the bad thing. And the Giants, I had stock in the Giants of actually keeping that Rams game close, and man, did they fucking throw me a dirty diaper.
Yeah,
so
Darnell gave you hell for that, didn't he?
Yeah, because I actually thought that the Giants would actually do something. I'm probably going to go with the general consensus of the Carolina Panthers. This game's going to be a push. It's going to be a 3-point game. There's not going to be no blowout or nothing. It's just not worth it, really.
Yeah.
I will give you the list. Maestro's in the house. She's going to start doing picks now for the rest of the season and make all of us look miserable.
Us or you?
Let me just go before we even go on with the rest of the picks. All right, we need to clarify this system. Okay, she either likes the logo of the team, their team colors, or the quarterback's cutest ass.
Oh my god!
Let me tell you, when I first met her, I thought she was bananas. I was doing the picks every Sunday, and then she'd do them, and she would wax me, okay? This is exactly how she does it. So just know that if you need any real picks, instead of the guys that use the numbers and shit, know the fact that she picks it that way, and she's about 99%. So, some people have their weird ways of picking it, but she picks it with uniform colors, logos, or quarterbacks' asses. Just know this. So, and if you're listening later on, there you go.
It's gotta ask: is it to make us miserable, or more particularly you?
More me than anything else, because she knows that I do this for a living, and she just makes me look bad half the time.
Well, same here. So I think that'll make two of us. Oh well.
All right. So this is the game I actually will be watching on Sunday, because they're on at the opposite times. It's the New York Jets, just end the season, traveling to Foxborough, playing the New England Patriots at the Razor, 1 o'clock start on CBS. All of these games are Eastern Standard Time, so just bear with us.
Yep.
Right off the bat, here is the ear-stabbing stat that I will give you. The New England Patriots, regardless of whether it was with Thomas Edward Brady or without, have beaten the New York Jets 19 out of the last 21 meetings. That, my friends, is a very, very astounding number. And they are currently being outscored per game 32-8.
Wow.
Those are some ear-burning numbers for that team in green and white.
Quick question, Ricky.
Yes.
The last time the Jets beat the Patriots, I think, was in the 2010 divisional playoffs.
I believe so.
Nope.
No. Actually, It wasn't. No, it was the actual game that I went to, Melissa's first football game at MetLife Stadium, where the Jets beat the Patriots by 3 points.
Oh, okay.
So that, I believe, was 2018 was the last time that they beat them.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was 2015 with Ryan Fitzpatrick as the QB.
No, I remember because, and here's the again. This is why I'm the fountain of useless knowledge.
Yeah.
Exiting MetLife Stadium, Jets fans and Patriots fans got into an argument where a guy punched a girl on the runway going downstairs, and it was a huge brawl. It was all over the news, and there's me waving in the background on the news. Do you just see my hand up in the air?
I'm gonna look it up.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. If you have a link, Ricky, send it to me.
I will find you the news link for that. But
Okay.
yeah, we were at the actual last time the Patriots lost to the Jets.
Okay. But this
Which is
particular game,
scary.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's scary though.
Yeah,
I remember that.
is. But this game, guys, if I may I start?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, number one, the New England Patriots, they're not mad right now. As quite honestly, if I'm going to be more specific, to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, the Patriots are fucking pissed off because they just lost to the Cowboys in a game full of drama regarding the penalties. And Ricky, we spoke about this.
Yes.
But, you know, the particular play with CeeDee Lamb, so that pissed off the Patriots even more. Now, the Patriots, they're not going to go from losing to the Cowboys. They're not going to say, oh, we are not losing the Jets, not on our home turf. So, you know, and Mac Jones actually looked good, but then again, he played against the Cowboys secondary, which is passing defense, which is second worst in the league. But the Patriots have this confidence. They're building this mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So Mac Jones is slowly but surely beginning to go in the caliber of NFL football. So that the Patriots are beginning to grow again, But I expect Mac Jones to have a great game, but I think it's going to be a Patriots all over. The Jets probably will never have a chance.
Yeah, there's no way that the Patriots lose to the Jets, especially when they lost to an overtime loss to the Cowboys. And I think they want to prove that they're still good when, if you remember 2 weeks ago, they played against the Texans where Davis Mills had a 140 plus passer rating. So I'm expecting the Patriots to destroy the Jets. I will say the Jets could put up a little more points from the first game, but it's not going to be enough to win.
Well, let's keep in mind the Patriots defense has been banged up, and they only lost to the Buccaneers with that missed field goal. So the Patriots 2-4 record, it's not what it's not what it seems to be.
Easily, they could be well over 500 at this point.
Absolutely.
Let's not.
Yeah.
There's no sugarcoating any of that. Okay.
No.
However, this is now game number 5, I believe, that the Patriots are playing at home. Still do not have a home win. They are winless at home.
And again, my point, they're pissed off.
And
they're pissed off.
Listen, you know what? It's not the fact that they're going to be pissed off. Okay? The offensive line is trash. Okay?
Yep.
Swiss cheese could block better than the Patriots offensive line at this point. And that's a lot. That's some holy cheese. And secondly, Patriots fans need to understand that there is going to be a ton of growing pains throughout this entire season, okay? Yes, Mac Jones at some points, okay, is looking very, very good. I'm not going to lie. However, again, you want to go back to that Dallas game where he inadvertently threw a ball a little too high. He gets thrown for a pick 6. But he comes back 2 plays later to shake it off and throw a 75-yard bomb. So it's not the fact that you can rattle Mac Jones.
You can't.
The thing is he going to get the protection that he needs against the New York Jets? Because now it's not that they don't have C.J. Mosley running around in the Jets' middle tier of defense. Okay?
Yeah.
That they get a piece from Pittsburgh for secondary. That's a lot of help. Obviously the Gilmore trade obviously is still perplexing because everybody thought it would work out without Gilmore there. So the secondary is still a little bit an array.
Yeah.
And again, I think the one thing that the Patriots are going to have to lean on in this game is the run game. But again, injuries, you got Harris with bruised ribs. You know, it's like it's one thing after another. So as much as everybody wants to say that they're going to favor the Pats by 7, again, I can kind of say that's been kind of questionable with some of their point spreads. And they're saying both teams are actually going to score 43 points.
That's interesting.
The Jets are coming off a bye week.
That is one of the main things, and that's one of the things that does scare me when you go into having that extra week of practice against a team like Bill Belichick. And Belichick does have good numbers against rookie quarterbacks, which is I think he's only got like 5 losses against rookie quarterbacks. So, you know, that's a very big number in itself.
Yep.
God, again, I get put in this fucking position. I'm gonna go Pats. Yeah, +7. I think I'm gonna go under 21-17, probably somewhere around there.
Wow.
Yeah. I like the fact that both quarterbacks are kind of got a potential going, but if the Jets can't get going on the first drive of the game, they're screwed. Alrighty, here's where we have some fun.
Yes,
because this is a team that I love to hate. The Kansas City Chiefs traveling down to Tennessee. Titans, Chiefs, 1:00. That game is supposed to be on CBS. This is going to be a very, very interesting matchup. Kansas City coming off of a lackluster performance, or at least first half performance, against the Washington football team. And then Tennessee with the upset of the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. John, I'll start with you on this one.
This could be a trap game for the Chiefs. While the Titans have been banged up on defense, They play well against tougher teams. I mean, look at they gave the Jets their only win, but they were able to keep up with Buffalo. So they are a really strange team. But I do think Mahomes bounces back, tries to do better from the first from Washington. So I'm taking the Chiefs.
Okay. Me? My
Yeah,
turn?
Yeah, sure. It's all you. I'm
right.
the cleanup hitter. You know that.
Yeah, you're batting cleanup. Well, we can't ignore the fact we can't say that the Tennessee Titans, they beat the Bills and that's good. And those that debate should they have gone for it or should they have kicked the field goal, but that doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah.
But the Titans played great the entire game. That interception that Josh Allen threw, and the resiliency, and of course King Henry.
Yep.
So the Titans, I mean, even though the record is 4-2 and they've had some problems, but they're going against the Chiefs, and the Chiefs have had some problems, but the Chiefs going off a win against Washington, I really believe that Tennessee is going to put up a good fight, but I really believe that Kansas City is going to do what I like to call they're going to escape with the win. That means that they're going to last second game winning field goal and they're going to run away with it. But I would not be surprised. But I'm picking the Chiefs, but I would not be surprised if the Titans pulled it off because I feel like it's just one of those games because Tennessee has to build off the win against Buffalo.
Well, Vegas has the Kansas City Chiefs favored by 5.
Yeah.
And an under over a 58, which I will potentially say 58 is a very, very good number for under over because both of these teams are going to score. Here are my ear blistering notes for the game. The Chiefs and Titans have allowed 26 points per game and an average total of 375 plus this year. Only 2 teams have made the playoff doing that since 1970, and that would be both of these teams of Kansas City and Tennessee. Kansas City's 3 losses are against teams with a combined 13-5 record, all division leaders. And Derrick Henry has averaged 130 and a half yards per game, most in the NFL. Kansas City, however, has allowed 133 and a half yards per game. That would be 6th most in the NFL. Yeah. Oh, also here's another fun tidbit. The last time these two teams played, 2019, Kansas City lost by 3 points and scored a total of 67 points.
Yeah, I remember that blocked field goal that happened in that game too.
Has everybody gone with KC on this?
I have.
I'm going Tennessee.
I as soon as you asked that, Ricky, I knew it. I just knew it.
I'm going Tennessee. I think I think it's about time that the King has started to take over, and the Kansas City Chiefs, offensively they sputter too much. And the reason why I say this is even though that the Titans secondary is probably a pile of hot trash, they are going to do the blueprint that everybody else has been doing all year long. It's cover 2 on the cheetah. As long as you cannot get the ball to the cheetah and he can't catch all that short intermediate shit, he's screwed. And that's what a lot of teams have been keying on. Yes, Josh Gordon's there. Whoop-de-doo. This is 5th team and God knows how many years of suspensions and shit. I don't think he even had an impact in the game on Sunday against Washington, and I honestly don't think that's going to happen either. So I'm going to lean on what I think is probably going to be the best bet is the Titans run game, and that's going to probably be the more effective thing.
Probably.
All right. This is a game we're going to spend 5 seconds on. Legitimately.
Yep.
Washington Redskins. Green Bay Packers, 1 o'clock on Fox Sports. This game here, my friends, you can just randomly go off because we all know that the Washington football team does not have a chance.
No, they do not.
No. Should I go first?
Go ahead.
Yeah. unfortunately, Tyler Heineke is going to be in that position where he's David. He's fighting 10 Goliaths at one, and he's got one stick in one hand and a stone in the other. Washington's defense might force maybe a turnover or two, and definitely I know they'll sack Aaron Rodgers, but this defense has been getting overwhelmed with total yards. So, and I said that at the beginning of the season, that's been happening more this season. So my prediction is coming true, but the Packers, are on a winning streak, and they're not going to lose at home to Washington. Like I said, 5 seconds, just give me the Packers. What? I mean, I can go to detail, but I just made my point clearly, and I got straight to the point, so I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers. Anyone gonna have Taylor Heineke over Aaron Rodgers? No. So Green Bay over touchdown.
Well, Vegas has them as a 8-point favorite. Scary thing. That's a scary thing. You're spotting the Washington Redskins, who haven't battled out of a wet paper bag all year. You're giving them 8 points, and the under-over is consensus of 48. Oh,
I am going under and giving Washington the points. Just that Green Bay's defense is somewhat inconsistent.
My issue with this is, and I'm thinking that at some point, that Washington defense has got to wake the hell up.
Yeah,
they really got to wake up.
Because they're talented.
They're extremely talented. How many first-round picks do they have in their front seven? 5?
At least, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They should be playing well above what they are playing right now. And at some point, they're going to have one of those games where they're going to step up and they're going to do what they have to do. Also, remember now that Whitley Merciless is now a member of the Green Bay Packers. That just made their defense a crap load better.
Yep.
And I called that, by the way, again. I'm saying it out loud. Once again, I called that.
He did.
As soon as the news broke, I said it. He was going. I'm going to take Green Bay. I don't know if I want to believe in the 8 points, though.
I'm not buying the 8 points.
It's one of those weird ones. It is.
Well, gentlemen, quick question. Aside from McLaurin and J.D. McKissick, who does Tyler Heineke have to rely on?
Ronald Seals Jones.
Okay.
He has been coming out of the ashes since the Logan injury, and has been performing. He has at least 3 red zone catches in the last 2 weeks. He actually has put the ball in the end zone the last few weeks. I think maybe it's just the fact that giving Heineke an extra weapon or two may be the really good thing, because you really can't rely on a run game when you're down 10 points or more.
Yeah, you can't. That's why I used the example. He's, David fighting all these Goliaths at one time. Because Heineke, the pressure's on his back.
He's not fighting with a stick. He's fighting with a toothpick.
There you go. Yeah, a toothpick and a pebble instead of a rock.
I don't know, but what the hell? Why is by the way, this is going to be just blatantly out of the blue. All right. So currently on CBS Sports right now, it's Western Michigan versus Toledo.
Yeah.
And I thought 2 weeks ago the field goal kicking was horrible in the NFL. I have never watched worse kicking than I've seen in the highlights of this game ever. The ball got 15 feet off the ground and hit the bottom of the goalpost. Not the top, not the sides, the bottom, okay?
Oh, my God.
These kickers suck ass.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, I think I had a little bit of an ADHD moment right there, and
that's
where it
happens to
went.
me, Ricky. There's nothing wrong with it. It happens to me. Okay, we cannot help ourselves. We have no control over it.
And the score in the game is Western Michigan 15, Toledo 13. This is how bad the field goal kicking is.
We're just misunderstood.
Okay. Speaking of bad kicking, we have the Atlanta Falcons traveling down to Miami against the Miami Dolphins. The Miami organization is now officially trying to scare the shit out of everybody by saying, Tua is our quarterback. We are doing nothing else. You're full of shit.
Yep.
That's all I can say about that. Because if you have a caliber of getting a Deshaun Watson, you're doing it. I'm sorry. The
You
price
should do it. You should.
The price is coming down. Okay, it's not 5,000 first-round draft picks for Deshaun Watson. They're looking to unload him. They're gonna end up trading for him. But you watch the weekend of the trade deadline. Deshaun Watson's gone.
So in other words, Ricky, Miami's bluffing by saying that Tua's their quarterback. They're bluffing.
They are saying it right now. I can guaranteeingly tell you, this is the best ploy in football ever. Say that you're not going to do something, and the other team is going to come with you with such a ridiculous deal, and they're going to be like, you know what? Here, just take him. We don't want him anymore. We've ran him through the dryer way too many times. Let's go. Just take him. We'll take like a 5th and a 7th, and he's out of here. I can guarantee you that. It's not going to be any major deal that everybody's thinking about.
Probably not.
Think of it this way. Stephon Gilmore went for what round pick?
Like a day 3, 4th round pick?
Yeah, he went for like a 4th or 5th round pick. Okay? That's it. Done.
Yeah.
That's it.
So.
It's not a blockbuster trade.
There was also the news I saw that Tua being taken off the depth chart on the Dolphins website. So that's a bad look.
Well, that's a sign right there. So,
yep.
So I'm predicting, I guess within this next week, I would say probably by Monday or Tuesday, Deshaun Watson may be in Miami. I'm not. Is Miami on a bye? They already had their bye week, right?
Nope.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They just came back from London.
Okay, I'm not sure when their bye week is, but I expect. I mean, the trade deadline's less than 2 weeks away. It's November 2nd, I believe. The deadline.
7th, I think it is.
7th.
Yeah.
I thought it was the 2nd. Okay, but yeah, I mean, it's I'm not gonna buy it. When they say that Tua's their quarterback, it's just a bluff. But with this game, this game, I imagine if Tua's starting, I mean, we don't even know if he's gonna make it the entire game because Tua is very injury prone. But I'm gonna be honest. I think the Falcons are actually gonna take this one.
Do we actually remember that they're actually playing the Falcons instead of like I don't know, like the Raiders or well even at this point Jacksonville. Yeah, I mean like they're not really playing a top tier team.
No. I was gonna say that the Falcons are a tricky team where you put faith into them and they just fall apart. I'm not buying into a team that didn't have a bye week coming back from London. So I'm taking the Falcons, sadly.
I would sadly say that Vegas didn't even want to put numbers on this. I'm not even joking when I tell you they have the game as a 2.5 point spread.
Oh my God.
And obviously we don't do half points. So now you got to bump it up to 3. But Vegas doesn't have faith in either one of these teams. And if they're only saying that they're going to only score 48 points between the two, I'm definitely picking the under. Okay? Because I have no faith in either one of these teams scoring. This is going to be one of those big turnover games. And as miserable as I hate to say this, I love defense, and Miami's defense has gotten diarrhea as of late. It's just not good. I really expected a lot more out of the Dolphins.
Pepto-Bismol does not work for them.
No. They definitely do need a butt plug in some spots. I'm probably I hate to say this, I really want to go Atlanta because of the fact that they have a little bit more stability on offense.
Yeah.
Their run game is still kind of horrible. And again, I'm going to say this. Cordell Patterson is not a running back. He is a hybrid. The next person that tells me he's a running back gets stabbed in the neck with this freaking pair of pliers.
Oh, my God.
I'm not even joking. I have been randomly abused. He's a running back. No, he's listed as a hybrid.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's just know that. Yeah, I'm going to go with Falcons giving the points. Getting the points, I should say.
I don't even know if I want to take the points in this one.
It's only 3 points anyway, and this is one of those games we really should not have spent a lot of time on anyway.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Because it's not going to be one of the games on my TV on Sunday, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
This one, however, will be on my TV.
Ooh.
It just so happens to be the Cincinnati Bengals at Baltimore Ravens, 1 o'clock. Game is in Baltimore, Maryland. This is going to be a game of the week. This is potentially a game of the week.
Yeah, I'll be watching that one. Game Pass. It's not going to be on in my area, but I don't know if the Bengals have actually played against anyone legit. Not the Vikings, not the Lions, not the Steelers. Just like a real legit team, and I'm leaning towards the Ravens on this one. Mainly that Joe Burrow and the coaching staff has not played against a legit playoff contender and won. So I'm taking the Ravens.
Yeah, give me the Ravens because basically everything you just said, there's no point of me repeating it because exactly what you said was what I was thinking. Yeah, just give me the Ravens.
Yep.
Although we have to address, I think the Ravens, the running game took another hit, but I don't think it's going to affect them.
Yeah.
Maybe not this game, it might in the future, but still, yeah, give me the Ravens. It's the Ravens at home, so yeah, give me the Ravens.
See, my issue with this is, and as much as Vegas is trying to really sway me toward Baltimore spotting Cincinnati 6 points, last few games they did not have Mr. Joe Burrow at quarterback. There was no Jamar Chase at wide receiver. Joe Mixon was MIA, and I'm not talking about Miami. He was missing in action. Cincinnati did have a really, really big battle, I believe, with the Cleveland Browns. I think it was it Cleveland? 49-42 or whatever that score was way back when I thought that the game was going to be cheese puff. And Cincinnati did actually play the Packers, and that was a pretty good game. So I really do want to give Cincinnati a chance. But at the same rate, there is one player that probably will right the ship, and his name is Lamar Jackson. So I'm gonna go Ravens, and I'm gonna say more than 46 points.
I'm going that route too.
I think this is going to be a good scoring game.
Yep.
Okay, here's a game where we're not going to spend very much time on. Sorry, Darnell, this is not going to happen for you.
Oh boy.
Rams, Lions. Rams hosting the Lions. Goff return to L.A. versus Stafford's return against his old team. This one here is what we call the Smoky Special. They have the L.A. Rams winning by 17.
I'm taking the points, and I'm taking the Rams. Jared Goff, go to the bench, bitch.
Oh my! Yeah, give me the Rams. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, what is there to say about the Lions that's worth even talking about? I mean, they are terrible. I mean, and they're going against a red hot Rams team. I mean, the only thing to talk about this game, I guess it's a homecoming for Mr. Jared Goff because he's back in beautiful and sunny Southern California, but
they play in a dome for Christ's sakes. How is it even worry about it?
Yeah, there's no way the Rams lose. Yeah, straight to the point. There you go, gentlemen. Just give me the freaking Rams. I mean, what's there to think about in this game, really?
All right. Well, here is the thing, because I do this all the time. Okay, straight up pick. I'm taking the Rams. Yeah. However, okay.
Yep.
I do have just a little bit of faith, and I'll put that on the thing there. Just a little bit of faith.
Just a little bit.
I am going to take the Detroit Lions with the points.
Ooh.
17 points is a lot of points. I'm not even saying this. Buffalo is the only one that's had a really big double-digit thing. They did smoke the Washington Redskins because the Redskins were crap. But you know what? On money lines, you got to go with a 3-score advantage. Yeah, I think you probably got to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where we have some fun. 4:05, Philly Raiders hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. This, my friends, is probably going to be another doozy of a game.
Ooh, this one's actually really interesting to see whether or not the Eagles are legit or they're pretenders. I've said before the season began that Philadelphia is my tank team. And while I don't like the Raiders, they are playing in their stadium. Derek Carr is a better quarterback from what Philly has. So I'm taking the Raiders to win, unfortunately.
Well, there's something's been building right now among the Philadelphia fan base, and it involves a certain Gardner Minshew, because it really seems that a lot of Eagle fans are really like they're not going to put up with Jalen Hurts much longer. And I don't know the current status of Gardner Minshew. I remember he's been inactive for several weeks. I don't know if he's been considered inactive as of late, but now I'm starting to ask the point. Now I'm really starting to ask, like, is it time to bring in Gardner Minshew? And I don't know if now's the time, but I really have a feeling that maybe in a week or two, it's gonna be time. But I have the Raiders winning this one.
Again, my question is how long are you going to give Jalen Hurts? How long are you going to give him the reins of this team, knowing the fact that he's shown a ton of inconsistency? Okay, he's not running the plays that he's supposed to be playing. That to me that's kind of an insult. Not for nothing. If you have that set up there, then you should be really kind of been doing what you're supposed to be doing.
But you know what the problem is, Ricky? It's because the head coach of the Eagles, that's the problem too.
The last time these teams played each other was 4 years ago. That's the difference between the Raiders now and the Raiders of back then.
Yeah.
My question is, and I'm looking at the injury report because I want to make sure that I don't feel like a dick when I say this. I really want to know how well the Vegas running game is going to be against this team. There's also marks of Darren Waller being now marked that's questionable instead of completely cleared out. The Raiders have a really, really good pass game. That's something. It's a very big dual-edged sword that you have to deal with the Raiders. When you have a passing game and a running game, you got Josh Jacobs coming out of the backfield. Man, it's horrible. And the other thing is that the Raiders are going to run different now. Chucky's not there anymore. Gruden can't be completely up somebody's ass if they freaking stub their toe in the turf. Like, this is a totally different Raiders team now than it was before. And they showed that last week. They really did show that last week. They put up 34 or 35 points last week. They did that shit
34.
They did that shit with ease last week. So if the Raiders are going to run that smooth, Philly is in trouble. Philly's in trouble.
I want to point out two things. One, I've actually been saying this since week one, that Jalen Hurts is very, easy QB to figure out. If you pressure him, he runs to his right. He's thrown mostly towards his right, and he throws very short to his left. That's like almost every play I've seen out of the Eagles, like on a weekly basis. And two, their secondary that has Anthony Harris, Steven Nelson, and Darius Slay. And they're this bad. Those are like guys that were league leaders in interceptions or known to be one of the better players in the league.
I've been wanting this thing about Jalen Hurts because a lot of people have told me that they believe that Jalen Hurts is stuck in the Oklahoma Sooner play style and mentality. I'm not too sure. I mean, he might be. As I said, he might be, but it's merely a thought. I mean, in my case, it's very. I mean, you can definitely tell the difference. The play style in Oklahoma is different than in Philadelphia because the Oklahoma one is successful, with Philadelphia not so much. So I think that it's more like he's stuck in between. Like he's basically stuck in a spot. Like you move on from the OU to Philadelphia, like he's stuck in the middle. Like he's just stuck. And he's not showing. Yeah, let's not forget about Alabama too. Like he's basically
Yeah.
stuck in a style between college football and NFL football. A lot of people probably think I'm not making any sense, but if you watch the film, then you would. But yeah, I just feel like he's stuck, and there's no signs of him coming out. Like we don't know if he's gonna come out because
Listen,
we
maybe
don't know what's
maybe
going
it's
on.
not him. Maybe it's the coaching staff.
Maybe
That
exactly.
can't get him to adapt to the actual NFL game, or
Probably.
and maybe this might be another thing too, because there's been a little bit of a difference if you want to really look at it.
Yeah.
And this is another game that we have not covered yet, and I probably will regret covering anyway. Carson Wentz wasn't the same without Frank Reich. Now look at the difference. Maybe they just don't have a coach that can match up to fix maybe Hurts's mechanics. Or here's another thing, because Cam Newton couldn't do it either. Maybe he can't learn the playbook. Maybe it's not simple enough for him.
See, and what you just said before the playbook about the coaching staff, you basically were kind of justifying my point. Like he's stuck. He's stuck in between the OU and the college football and the NFL style. I mean, this is probably something I would ask Misi, because she obviously she's the diehard Sooner fan, so she remembers she knows the play style of Oklahoma. So I would ask her if she's been following Jalen Hurts. Like, is he stuck in the style between Oklahoma and NFL? But there's a lot of theories, and we just can't go on a theory.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll put it this way: if Hurts plays bad in the first half, you see Gardner Minshew.
I mean,
or Joe Flacco.
No, I don't think. I don't.
I have a feeling. I will have a feeling. I will say this: Joe Flacco is on his way out of Philly. He's on his way out of Philly. There's going to be there is going to be somebody, and I hate to say it, maybe like a Denver who may not have faith in Drew Lock, or you might, because now they don't really have another quarterback behind Trevor Lawrence. Maybe at some points you may see him go there. I mean, there's quite a few issues. Maybe you might even see him go to Washington. That's a possibility as well. Teams that have got to get back in the race that just don't have the faith in their starters that they. I mean, Flacco is not exactly completely washed. I mean, he's kind of soaked in soap or whatever, but yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah. Okay, another game where we'll spend less than 5 minutes. Oh, by the way, I'm picking
5 seconds.
I'm picking the Raiders.
5 seconds?
No, because we ended up spending 5 minutes on the fucking Rams.
That's true.
Okay. Arizona hosting the Houston Texans. This is another game here where people will throw boatloads of money at Vegas. They have Arizona favored by 18.
That's a tough one, because who knows if Tyrod Taylor's going to be out on the field. But the Arizona Cardinals proved to play not just great offense, but they're playing very solid defense. So I'm taking the Cardinals. If Davis Mills is out there, I'm taking the points. If Tyrod Taylor is playing, then I'm giving the points to Texans.
I got to go with the Cardinals. Even if Tyrod Taylor plays, there might be some better statistical numbers. But overall, because the Cardinals are so well balanced on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball, they're very good. So, just give me the Cardinals. And, and I expect Kyler Murray to have a great day on the ground, both on the ground and on the passing game. Yeah, Cardinals have got this.
I'm just double checking this Tyrod Taylor thing. Okay, so he's not listed on the injury report, so he still may be on the IR. It does say here that there's Danny Amendola is playing, Brandon Cooks is playing. I mean, offensively, they may look okay. It's just the one thing that I've been finding with the Cardinals this year is they kind of play down to their opponent. They're not at full force apparently, because they had trouble with Jacksonville. A few weeks ago they had trouble. Last week I don't think that their injuries cleared up. Let me see here, just the one major thing. I mean, they're not as
coach being out.
I'll be honest to tell you that I didn't think that was going to make a difference. I really didn't Kingsbury being out was not going to make a difference, and I stated that Because when you got somebody, and when you got somebody like Kyler Murray, who is that gunslinger type quarterback, like he'll scramble, but then he'll also throw the ball all over the yard. That's a guy that you give him the play, and he's just gonna do what he needs to do. 18 points though, oof, that's freaky. I thought the other game was good. I thought the Rams game was going to be a freaking bloodbath.
What's interesting, gentlemen, is I'm curious to know imagine if DeAndre Hopkins has a great game, and imagine if J.J. Watt both have a great game.
Well,
those two are going to be going for blood against their old team.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll probably remind them it didn't have to be this way, but you guys made it. This is what you guys made. We didn't want. I'm still dumbfounded from that trade of DeAndre Hopkins. I'm still dumbfounded. I mean, that's probably going to be one of the worst trades in NFL history. It's got to be the worst trade in Texans history.
I'm just going to say this.
Oh,
Arizona wins, but they don't cover.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
3 scores. 3 scores down. You're starting the game. NFL.com has the Arizona Cardinals winning 33-17, which is 16 points, and that doesn't cover. So that's the way I'm looking at that.
Very interesting.
I have like a 45-17 for the Cardinals, but like I said,
that's what I'm kind of feeling. Yeah. I was thinking more like 34-10, something like that. 34-10, 37-10.
Yeah.
No, I think that,
or 38 to 10 would be my most
Texas is going to score more than 10 points because I get shit on when I said, Carolina's only going to score like 10 points, and then they scored 30 on me, pricks. I think I'm still on that DTA. Don't trust any team. Like the same way we're going to do this one. 425 Chicago Bears traveling down to Titletown, Tampa, Florida. Buccaneers, Bears, still no Gronk. That'll be a very big key. Tampa is a 12-point favorite. 47 under over.
Ooh. I think from the previous matchup they played last year that Tampa didn't have their star receivers with Evans and Godwin. And both those guys are going into that game. I would say Tampa wins. But I'm going to say they're not going to cover.
Well, in my case, this is going to be a huge day. Well, I don't know if I should say huge day. This is going to be a day to remember for Justin Fields. Sorry, mine went blank for a second for Justin Fields, and I probably would have said a big day like this is going to be a day like he's going to learn a lot. He's going to go through a lot of hell, but he's going against the Buccaneers defense. But the Buccaneers defense is still a bit banged up, but I still feel like the Buccaneers are going to overwhelm Mr. Fields. I mean, he might have a couple of good plays, here and there, but overall, just give me the Buccaneers. It's the Buccaneers at home, and they're not going to lose to the Bears.
Well, it just so happens that the last meeting last year, the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost by 1 point to the Chicago Bears. Thomas Edward Brady is 5. Teams that play Brady, rookie quarterbacks, are 5-20 against Brady. That is nuts. These are numbers that you just don't want to see. Do I have Tampa winning by 12? Yeah. Chicago's offense is horrible. They are horrible. They are gonna have no chance at the run game whatsoever in this. And that's what the Bears' bread and butter is their run game.
It's repulsive.
Yeah. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to say Tampa covers the points instead. I'm not going to say they don't. They're going to cover.
Okay. 8:20. We're at Sunday Night Football. I'm loving this. Colts at 49ers. This is going to be a pretty classic game because Jimmy G is back. However, his starting left tackle is not. That should
Yeesh.
make interesting. And there is no what's his face? The quarterback.
Trey Lance.
There's no Trey Lance. He is out for the game. So they are going to have to rely on hopes and prayers that Jimmy G does not get run over by any of the Colts players. It is San Francisco favored by 4, 43 points total, under over.
Ooh, that's a tough one. The Colts have been battered from the secondary, and while they played a bye week against the Houston Texans. Ooh, this is a tough one. I will say I have the Colts winning. I don't know if they're gonna cover.
Well, there was a story that recently came out about one of the Colts receivers had surgery, which the end of season. But I was trying to look at it right now, but now I'm seeing 3 hours ago, not 3 years ago, 3 hours ago, it was actually it's saying that T.Y. Hilton is now out against San Francisco with a quad injury.
Yeah.
So obviously it's another receiver, but and T.Y. Hilton came back last week, didn't he?
Yes.
He came off of the IR, but did not play
Okay.
last week, and he is officially out for tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, with a quad injury. So that being said, I have to go with San Francisco.
By the way, shout out to Big Jason Gaming, who popped in just as we started talking about the 49ers, because I can guaranteeingly tell you, as soon as I said 49ers, his ears were ringing. He knew we were talking about it.
Yeah, so big Jason, if you heard me, yeah, I'm going with San Francisco on this one.
So you guys both have the 49ers?
No, I believe you
No,
have the Colts.
I have the
Yeah, you have the
Colts.
Colts, yeah. I have the 49ers. I mean,
Sorry, Jay. I mean, as much as I want to take the red and gold, I am not going to do this. I'm not putting myself in that spot. I like the fact that the Colts are starting to play a lot better. Granted, their kicker went on the IR this week. There is no TY, but I do like the fact now that Carson Wentz is starting to get in a rhythm. Yeah, no TY, but you still got Zach Pascal there. The receivers are going. Taylor is running the ball.
As well, yeah.
Taylor's got over 100 yards rushing the entire season, every game. That, my friends, is a very, very big chemistry thing when you got two guys that could run the ball insane. The Colts are on the verge of trading Marlon Mack because he's not just seen the field at all. They've just pretty much left him on the bench. But I hate to say it, but the Colts are starting to take off. And I said this again earlier in the season. It takes a few weeks for teams to gel. And even though Carson Wentz is the only player ever in NFL history to sprain both ankles on the same play, I think he's actually starting to get what he had in Philly because Frank Reich is there. Like he just needed some time. So NFL has the Colts winning by 1 point on Sunday Night Football. The numbers is again San Fran favored by 4 and an under over 43. I'm going to take San Fran with the points, Colts winning outright, and over the 43.
So I'm on the island. Because I picked San Francisco.
Bernard, what's up?
Same.
Okay. This is the game where we could all just pull up a pillow, a coffee, an alcoholic drink, and a porn, and watch the probably one of the worst Monday Night Football games ever. That would be the New Orleans Saints traveling to the 12th man in Seattle against the Seattle Seahawks. So we have Jekyll and Hyde Winston versus Geno Reconstructed Jaw. Where would you go with this?
Obviously, the Saints for the win. I do say the only factor the Hawks have is just the fans in the stands just cheering. That's basically what Seattle only has left. So I'm taking Saints, and I'm also going to take the points.
I have to go with the Saints as well. Geno Smith could be resilient. He could definitely put up some respectable numbers and somewhat keep the Seahawks in it. But at the end, things just go bad. So I don't see the Seahawks being able to survive this game.
New Orleans was on the bye last week.
Yes.
Okay. I have no faith in Geno Smith. I do, however, have faith in the Seattle run game. I think that's going to be the difference. If New Orleans comes off strong off the bye week, potentially they should be able to stop the Seahawks running game. However, I don't know if I can really give up on the Seattle receiving core. Yeah, those guys are pretty tough. You know, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. This is rough for me at this point. I'm gonna go Saints. They have the Saints here favored by only 5 points. 42.5. We round to 43. I'm gonna go Saints across the board. Yeah, that's where I'm going. Saints across the board. I would love it to be one of those big rainy messes. I will say this, though. If it rains in Seattle, that should be a fun game.
I agree. That should be really fun.
Oh, oof.
Probably slip and slide.
Well, there is also news now that Russell Wilson is eligible to come off of the IR week 10. So they've got reconstructed jaw for another 4 weeks. I love that shit. Geno Smith's reconstructed broken jaw. Broken by his teammate. It's a beautiful thing. All righty. So that's the picks for week 7. Hope everybody's enjoyed the show. Any comments from around the horn?
Oh, sir.
I will say is I really appreciate coming along.
John, you are again more than welcome to come on anytime you like. Shout out to Stephen Waldman, who has been doing some research for us, although Stephen's at work. And normally he would be on to do everything. Big Jason Gaming, thanks for coming on. I saw he was cooking earlier, so now I have to go back and watch the cooking video and make sure that I learned the pregame snacks for tomorrow. And that's pretty much it for the show.
Probably better than watching the kicking game.
Well, now apparently it is the mash unit in this game. The game was 15-13 when I just last looked at it. And they had 3 players from, I believe it was Western Michigan, laid out on the turf. At the same time, by the way. Not just one guy. It's like 3 guys in like an area. So, yeah, that's the mash units. The theme is playing in my head. You know, kind of like the New York Giants, who have a mash unit going on. But that's besides the point. Okay. ArchRivals will be back on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. If you have not followed, shared, subscribed, sent us money, etc., start doing that because we are trending everywhere now. I got 5 notifications about it while we were on the air. And merchandise, paintrainpipebomb.threadless.com. There's ArchRivals merch. There is Pipe Bomb merch. There is Pipe Bomb Radio, NYC merch. All brand new stuff. Go check it out. And we have sales too. Free shipping. You know it. So till Tuesday. Catch you guys later.
Hey, did you like that show? Like, share, follow, subscribe. Share out our shows to all of your social media. Need merchandise? Check out paintrainpipebomb.threadless.com for quality merchandise at great prices. Tune in next time for another edition of ArchRivals Football, and we'll catch you on the flip side.